Okay, family.
Oh.
The sound is working. Woohoo! Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Well, welcome, family. So I figured out what the problem was. You guys know that live is my thing, that I'm always having issues with live, but now my issues have gone away. I'm no longer having any issues with live. Spirit has told me those issues have gone away. And I have so many apps on my computer. I have so many apps on my computer that some of these apps have their own mic. So I know all of you people who love to go live all the time, you will know what the problem is. So if you were here before, back again. Woo! Yes. All right, let's ring that bell. Come on in, family. Let's ring that bell. Come on in. Come on in. We're going to talk about African spirituality today. We're going to talk about African spirituality. We're going to talk a little bit about what does it look like for those of you who were here before. Thank you on TikTok and here on YouTube. We're going to go back and forth a little bit and talk a little bit about what does it look like when people are practicing African spirituality today, 2025, and how people are coming to these faiths so often in droves. We've got celebrities, educators, young people, old people, rich people, poor people, in between, everybody, right? African spirituality is for everyone. I particularly have been a practitioner for about 26 years. And I've been an ordained priest of Oshun for the last 25 years. And also in Ifa, Voodoo from Benin, and other Bantu faiths in between. So one of the things that I realize is everyone wants to be an authority, right? Everyone wants to be an authority on African spirituality, particularly Ifa Orisha tradition. And Orisha says you have to live Orisha. So you can read all the books you want. You can read all the books. You can become an authority on whatever it is that you think that you know about Orisha. But I'm here to tell you that the only way you really, really know about these faiths is to live these faiths. I did a video on being secretly spiritual, right? Where you're spiritual and your family doesn't know, and what does it look like if you're dating? And I get this question all the time, like, what do you say? What do you say to someone who you're dating and they're like, is that an altar? Or they're like, why do you have pictures over there on that table? Like, hello, this is a space for my ancestors. I remember when I was getting initiated. And so I brought my mom to come to support me, and my aunt, who is a priest of Obatala. I had her there to kind of help me out, make sure my mom was comfortable and so on. And my mother said, why are you putting food over there? Why are you putting food over there? There's nobody there. So I've learned that, and for those of you who want me to answer that question, why do we put food over there? Definitely, I want to do a live about that, but I'll give you a little sweet thing today with that one. It's challenging when the people around you are very, very steeped in a particular faith, and that program is working all the time. and people are not able to become open-minded about their spirituality. And one of the things that I've been really dealing with a lot with people that I've been reading, and I noticed there's just a strong conversation about this as of late, which is the reason why I want to do a live about it, is how do I deal with, I mean, I have so many topics for those of you who are on my YouTube channel. I have so many topics, so many things I want to talk about. But this conversation of how do people integrate African spirituality or whatever their thought is around spirit with either Christianity, the Muslim faith, Judaism, any kind of Abrahamic practice, Lutheran, Episcopalian, whatever your background is. Oh God, TikTok is doing all these strange things on the screen, and I'm like, what is happening? So one of the things that I notice that people are really having a lot of challenges around is how do they integrate their belief system or what they grew up with as it pertains to African spirituality. Oh. Oh, that's so cute that the person talked about the whole thing with the food. So who makes up the rules? Because the last time I checked in my life, I make up the rules. My ancestors make up the rules. My connection to the divine makes up the rules. And one of the reasons why people come to these faiths is because they get their own rules. No one is telling you what to do and how to do it. Thank you so much, beautiful Rose. Right? No one is there to tell you, oh, if you're going to get struck by lightning, if this happens to you, if you go to this place, this thing is going to happen to you. That African traditions across the board does not tell you that. These faiths are customized to the individual, right? And so this idea of you're going to be persecuted is a program of a particular doctrine, right? Whatever it is that that doctrine is that the person adheres to. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Orisha tradition and other traditions that have some form of structured divination system, right? So divination is through ordination, whatever the person is ordained to, whether it be deity, practice, or whatever. If you're talking about spiritual readings or other types of readings that are not by way of initiation, then now you're getting a divine information through a divine portal, through the God force, whether that God force is being directed through Orisha or directed through Lawa or directed through a particular deity or energy that the person may be ordained to. Very, very important to understand from getting a spiritual reading or something like that. So if you're getting divination that tells the person, are you vibrating in the positive to your destiny or to the negative of your destiny? This is important because now, if you guys notice, I could be here for 3 hours talking about African spirituality. It's like, it's so great for me to talk about it, right? But if we're going from that direction, this is why people come to these faiths, because they are customized. They're customized to your destiny. They're customized to your lineage. They're customized to your ancestry. They're customized to the current life that you are living at this time. I give you an example. I have two sisters. They're twins. And the oldest sister was told that she needs to live close to a body of water, whether it be a river, ocean, whatever, but there needs to be some water close by. She cannot be too far inland. So then her other sister was told nothing about where she needed to live or didn't need to live, right? So these sisters had lived together for a long time, but one of them really didn't want to move. She did not want to move from wherever she lived. And the other one was like, bet, I'm moving to Florida. I want to get to the ocean. I like it warm. This is going to be great. And the other sister was like, I'm not sure if I want to change my job, change my life, this or that. And so she said, okay, I'm going to go to Florida. She went to Florida and realized that one, she had met the partner of her dreams, we're going to put that in quotes. She got her dream job. She could not get pregnant, and she then had twins, and her life just exploded with all of this goodness and success and prosperity and love and health, and it was just like raining, right? And her sister was having a little bit of the green-eyed monster, if you know what I'm talking about. So she went to Florida, and then her sister eventually relocated to Florida. But she had her life book. She had her life book through the practice of Ifa, which if you guys want me to talk about Ifa and how that is so life-changing in terms of getting your destiny and all of that, definitely comment for me. There's so many comments here. It's like, okay, it's hard to read them all. So I'm giving you all an example, right? Giving you an example that a person can get on their track through divination, through knowing what's best to do. And in this case, the person went to Ifa, who is the witness of destiny, of all human destiny. Orumala Eleripin Ejike Olodumare, right? Witness of destiny. It is very important that people understand traditional faiths. It doesn't matter if it's indigenous from South America, from Africa. In China, they have indigenous faiths. In the Asian countries, they have indigenous faiths that is indigenous to that land, in addition to people who are very attached to the land. These are the faiths that they had before anything else. And so I'm not here to encourage anyone. I'm already in it, so I'm enjoying the benefits of it. But the conversations about what's making so many people gravitate. So we talked about destiny. The other one is protection. Protection, 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 right? From prosperity to luck, to love, to health, to being in alignment, right? And then prosperity, right? Everyone needs to protect their money. Everyone needs to protect their health. Everyone needs to protect the goodness that they have in their life. And so people who are interested in these faiths, are coming to receive all of the goodness and have it protected all at the same time. So I want to take a few minutes and just kind of look around and see what you all have to say to me for a few minutes. Yes, I'm interested in being crowned into Ifa. So I just want to help you, my love. They don't normally use that term, being crowned into Ifa. So a person becomes initiated as a Ifa, like myself, or an Ifa priest. But the crowning conversation is oftentimes used for Orisha priests that are not ordained as Ifa priests. So like I'm crowned a priest of Oshun, right? Just as a little sweet note. All right, so let's see if anyone has any burning questions or comments that are very important for you all, for me to answer before I get off. TikTok has so much stuff going on the screen. I am just so overstimulated. I can't tell what's going on. And where are my YouTube people? You guys are not used to me doing lives, much less doing it in the middle of the day. But I have to say, Spirit has told me, do it when you can, just do it. So here we are. So I wanted to share with you a little bit about when I was called, and I'm working on some material around knowing about when you're called into these faiths, right? So people come into the store, and I've had some clients over the years that they're like, I'm going to eat a little candy while I'm here with you and drink a little water. And they said, oh, I dream about Orisha all the time. I dream about Orisha. Like, they came to me, someone came and they dragged me down in the ocean. Or, I was walking on the road and there was this guy and he was wearing red and black. And I'm like, yes, 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 Eshu, 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 right? Is there a difference on giving offerings to Lawa and Orisha? Is there a difference? So someone's asking that question. We'll just have a quick one. So there isn't really a difference in your intention, right? I come to Lawa to ask for, and Lawa is in the Vodun practice, for those of you who don't know what Lawa is, and Orisha, of course, is in the Yoruba Ifa faith, right? So when we come to the spirit, I'm using the word spirit interchangeably for Orisha and Lawa instead of having to break it down each time. When you come to the deity, you're coming with your intention, right? Your intention is what the spirit is interested in addition to, are you giving an offering that's befitting? So an offering is just an offering. I love you. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for your guidance. But if you're talking about an ebo, a working, an offering done for a particular request, that's a little bit different. Why? Because the offerings for Lawan or Orisha are not necessarily the same. In addition to, depending on what you're asking for, it looks like different things, right? But your intention is all they're interested in, and whether or not the offering is befitting of what it is that you're asking for. Am I giving it to you for love, or am I giving it to you to make a special request? This is a beautiful, thank you. This is a beautiful question. Stacy says, what if you deny the calling? Well, you could deny the calling. I tried to deny the calling. It didn't work. Here I am. But you can deny the calling. Remember, in the Bible and in the world, and no matter what practice we practice, it says that we have free will. Is Ifa practicing dark magic? Oh my God, I have so many subjects to come on here and give lives about. I have to see if I can hold on to all these questions after the live. So you can deny the calling. The good thing is that you're aware that you're getting a calling, and I think that's fantastic, right? To be in the awareness. That's so sweet. You guys are so sweet. I tried to deny the calling, right? I tried to deny the calling, and here I am. Spirit said, open up a Botanica. I said, XXXX. I was like the velvet rope girl, looking all cute all the time, wearing this white hat and wearing white clothes, and all of that was in another lifetime. It was in another book, in another chapter. I was like, no, I don't think so. And here I am living my best life, enjoying Orisha, the blessings of Orisha, the blessings of the spirit, the blessing of the ancestors, because I was in a state of ignorance, right? And so I just want to say to you, if you do not want to follow the calling, you're totally welcome to do that. But I would at least say to you, maybe do a little bit. Right? Doesn't mean that you have to go into full ordination. Maybe just do a little bit. It could be maybe an ancestor space, maybe getting their stick, maybe completing as much as you can for the ancestors so that you can feel like, okay, I did a little something, right? Maybe it is taking care of yourself, doing some spiritual cleansings and things like that, so that your Ori, if you guys haven't watched my Ori video on YouTube, that your Ori, and if you want me to talk about Ori on a live, definitely comment. That the Ori, the person's Ori, is in alignment with, okay, you're not totally ready to overly commit, but I see that you're doing some things and it is of benefit to you, right? We'll have another drawing, my love. We're going to have another drawing. I'm going to start doing drawings from items that I've used in videos. So maybe we'll do that on the lives. That'll be a lot of fun. Have one of the girls help me, and we can use some of the items that I've done on videos, like demos and so on. Oh my God, I have 111. Yes. So let's see another question while we're here today. Let's look on TikTok and see, can you be called to more than one Orisha? Absolutely. Why? Because when a person goes through ordination, their main or initiation, I use the word ordination, and so does a lot of other people, but it's initiation, ordination, crowning is used from a Latin perspective. You can be called to that one particular Orisha because we have one head, right? We're talking about in Lukumi, we're not talking about Isheshe Lagba, traditional Nigerian style Orisha worship, right? Whole another delicious subject, the differences between what we practice here and what is practiced in Nigeria, Isheshe Lagba, right? So yes, absolutely. You can be called by more than one, but have one main one. Like some people have what is called being a child of two waters, right? They could be a child of Yemoya, and then they're a child of Oshun, or vice versa. And the Orisha say, I love you like the other one loves you. You need to treat me like you treat the other, right? Things like that. So this came up, this subject came up some time ago, and I think that I'm going to just turn that into a whole nother thing about, we had a conversation about self-initiation. And so, and there's a lot of different ways to do that, conversations around that. So definitely catch me on the next live and we can talk about, maybe I'll use that as another subject. I have so many subjects to talk to you about. Be here all day. Oof, that's a loaded one. Someone's asking about Umbanda from Brazil and Orisha worship. It says, do you offer initiations? I've been initiating people for many years in different faiths, and initiation is one of my blessings that Orisha and Olodumare, God, and my Ori has blessed me with, to have beautiful hands to initiate people. And so, yes, I have initiated many people, and from different countries. So let's see. We're still talking about what does it look like when you're called, right? Do you see who this is over my shoulder? Who sees who? Boop, 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 boop. Do you see the beautiful, beautiful? This is Obatala Ajaguna, right? Love this, Arisha. We can even have a whole live. Woo! Look at that, a whole live just talking about orishas and why do they have certain things that they have, right? So delicious. Can you guys see him on TikTok? Let me see. Let me move this a little bit. Just a little sweet moment. Oh, there's Oshun beside him. Everywhere I go. But they say everywhere I go, the people want to know. I love Orisha. They're like the butter on the bread, you know? When people talk about, oh, if you practice Orisha worship, then you can't be a Christian and you can't believe in God and this and that. Well, I read the Bible from my ancestors. Why? Because they went to church. They went to church and this is what they believe in. And there are a lot of wonderful parables and stories in various doctrine, Christianity, even in the Torah, Bible. I mean, even in Buddhism, there's wonderful, wonderful doctrine that you can read and really fill you, can make you feel strong, can make you feel like, yeah, I'm ready to go, and still be an Orisha priest. In a lot of faiths, they say you cannot practice anything else. You cannot practice anything else. And I always say, and so what's going to happen? My God tells me what to do. Nobody tells me what to do. My God tells me what to do. So if people are programmed through fear, if people are programmed through fear, then they will continue to live in a mode of fear and not look for help, because not every vitamin does everything, right? And I have some ministers, I have some deacons, I have some bishops that I've been reading maybe 15 years. Children, family, teenagers, husbands, wives, the whole family, right? Been reading some of these people for a long time. And I just want to pause here because Spirit just said I should mention this. I'm sure I'm going to mention it in a couple of lives. All of you, I just want to say, everyone that I've ever read, I so appreciate you coming to me to read with me. And anyone who's ever been rescheduled, I take this very seriously because I do not like to reschedule people. Anyone who's ever been rescheduled, your time has been pushed back, anything, I so apologize for that. But I want to say that I'm one person doing the work that I have been put here to do. I can't do anything else, and I love what I do. But I do want to say that I respect everyone and I respect your time and your energy. And so if you've ever read with me and it has been of great benefit, I'm so grateful to hear that. And if you have ever been moved, your appointment got moved to another day or whatever, again, I apologize, just because, spiritual work sometimes takes a lot of time. Some days I make an appointment to help someone with something and it starts off being an hour and a half and then 3 hours later, you're still at it. So people who are very versed in doing spiritual work, you kind of get it and you understand it. But people who are not as used to that can take it as a personal affront. And so, I just want to say I apologize for anyone with that, but this is the work that we do. And it is not always just kind of like a punching of the clock. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's see what else we got to talk about before I jump off, because I'm getting ready to jump off so that I have more things to talk about with you on the next live. Oh, this is a good one. Yes, I am a Wicca, but still have Christian values, and God and Jesus and many deities I work with. I also use the Psalm as well, and they're very powerful. Again, you know, some people may like what I have to say, and people may not like what I have to say. I have to say, I'm still going to say what I have to say, right? Because Orisha and Mayori and Olodumare and Orumala have told me, go, go, go and speak what we have told you to speak. Who makes up these rules? You know, I was in South America and I had a conversation with someone around indigenous language. And I said, well, indigenous people don't know English. They don't know Judaism. They don't know all these different languages that come from different doctrines. They don't. So what does that mean? That if they don't know it, automatically they're breaking some kind of rule? I don't know. I have to say that I'm very opinionated about the subject. And people who know me know I'm very opinionated about the subject. So I want to know, there's only one sun that I'm aware of. There's only one sun, there's only one sky, there's only one ocean. So does that mean that they belong to different gods? That there's only one source that made that ocean, that made that river, that made that sun? Is there more than one source based on the practice that you're in? Because as far as I'm concerned, there's only one source. I haven't met him. I haven't met it. I don't know if it's a male, if it's a female. As far as I'm concerned, it has both male and female because, as it says, we are made in its image. So animals are made in its image. People are made in its image. Plants are made in its image. Don't get me started now. We'd be here all day. Someone said to me this morning, they're like, Alemi, are you sure that you want to talk about some of this stuff? I said, I don't know who's talking about it, but whoever knows people who are talking about some of the things that I'm talking about, please post their information because I want to meet them. I want to be with like-minded people who are ready to push the envelope, who are ready to think about life, who are ready to think about that things cannot be that linear. It can't be that linear. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, if you've ever taken an international trip or you talk to someone or you look on the news and the newscaster is like in the dark and it's the light where you are and it's 14 hours difference there, it really goes to show there's only one, right? We're only on one planet. Like how many things could we be doing here? This is why I say, do you? Do you? Who's going to make up? Thank you. Who's going to make up these rules that tell you you can't do this and you can't do that? My attitude is if you're not hurting anyone, you're not disrespecting anyone, and your life is going forward. Your life is going forward. You're having prosperity. You're having abundance. You're having happiness. You're having mental clarity. You're having mental freedom. Then do you. So before we close, today we talked about African spirituality, and the next time we're going to talk more about what does it look like? Why do people want to be in African traditions, right? We talked about the individuality. We talked about freedom, abundance, protection, all of these different things, and how it is customized to you based on your destiny, your life, your Ori, your makeup, and your ancestry, right? Absolutely. Went to Peru and there were two shamans. They spoke no English, same universal God, right? My love. Oh, I'm late. Don't worry. There's going to be a replay And we have much, much more to talk about because, all work and not enough play with all of you doing lives. It kind of makes everything a little bit So now we need to do some lives because people are like, Alemi, I can't believe you're so opinionated. Okay. I got to tone it down. I got to reel it back, right? My friend said to me earlier, are you sure you want to talk about some of these things? I'm like, what do I have to lose? People are going to maybe talk a little trash. God still loves me. Orisha still loves me. My ancestors still love me. I still love me. Hey. Okay, so let's see any final questions. Talk about Ori and Ifa. Well, we're going to talk about that on the next round. I don't know how that call went through, but oh well. We're going to talk about Ori and Ifa. I'm going to write that down. Oh, love it, love it, love it. And maybe one day we'll talk about, I want to talk with all of you about Iwa, right? Iwa. That'll be your assignment, if you will, until the next live. But on TikTok, I'm not really sure the best way to let people know that I'm going live on TikTok. So maybe you guys can tell me, how do people normally go live on TikTok? Do they put it in their stories or do they just go live? How does that work? I'm not really that versed on TikTok. I'm a child of Mama Chola and Paulo. Is it common to dream about Oshun? Absolutely, because in Palo Mayombe takes the reflection of the Orisha, and that's a part of the practice. So, of course, you're going to see Oshun, because Chola may not necessarily look the same way that a person can maybe easily identify. Okay, so anybody got any things about how to get on TikTok? It says, what's a TikTok? Yeyeo Botanica. Yeyeo Botanica. Okay, family, we're going to get ready to wrap up. Can you talk about Palo Mayombe? I've done many. I'm going to put that as another. Oh my goodness, it's time to get off. My phone is just blowing up. All right, family. So it's great seeing you all. I hope that we had a wonderful moment together. I collect a lot of African art. This is a wonderful piece. On TikTok, you guys can see it a little bit better. You can see, let's see if I can tilt this up just a little bit. There we go. So up here, this is a medicine piece. And so we have alligator here, and then we have the different medicine people. This is like my total hobby. African art. Been collecting for like 30 something years. Got wonderful, beautiful pieces I can share with you all. And you can learn a lot about your culture, learn about humanity, even if you're not a person that is of Black and brown descent. Learn a lot about humanity through African art. Thank you so much, all. I know that some of you are on your lunch break and some of you guys are just driving by. Thank you for sharing with me, and I'm going to see you soon. And I love you all. And I hope that today I got you inspired, fired up. You also got a little piece of me, learning a little bit more about me, and that we're going to do this again. Stay blessed, stay safe. Stay positive, stay focused, and see you next time. Ashe, ashe, ashe. See you soon, family.